There's a car on sale right now for under $10,000. That's less than what a lot of people just paid for a used Honda Civic with 200,000 miles already on the odometer. And that $10,000 car comes with the exact same self-driving assistance technology that Tesla, BMW, and Mercedes charge you thousands extra to unlock. Except this company didn't charge extra. They made it free. Every model, every trim, every single price point. The company is called BYD. Most people outside China still can't quite pronounce it right. And it just quietly outsold Tesla globally while doing something the rest of the car industry insists isn't financially possible. So here's the real question worth sitting with. Not how cheap can a car get? It's how does a company almost nobody in the West can name end up rewriting the financial rules the entire global car industry assumed were permanent? By the end of this, you'll understand exactly how they built this, and why competitors with 100 years of history are the ones nervous right now. If this kind of story is your thing, hit like, it genuinely helps, and subscribe, because what's coming is hard to believe until you see the actual numbers. Let's start where this company actually began, because it has almost nothing to do with cars. The factory nobody was watching. BYD started in 1995, not in a car plant, in a small battery factory in Shenzhen. The founder, Wang Chuanfu, was a chemist with about $300,000 in startup money and one clear goal: build rechargeable batteries cheaper than anyone else alive. He reverse-engineered Japanese battery technology, took it apart piece by piece, and rebuilt it at a fraction of the cost, without cutting corners on performance. By the year 2000, BYD was the largest maker of nickel-cadmium batteries on the planet. 2 years after that, they were the top lithium-ion battery supplier in the entire world. Not top 5. Number 1. They weren't building cars yet. They were quietly becoming the beating heart of the global rechargeable battery industry at a cost level nobody else could touch. The car business came almost as an afterthought in 2003 when BYD bought a struggling Chinese automaker. No press conference, just a quiet acquisition and years of learning the business from the inside. Then in 2008, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway put $232 million into BYD. At the time, people thought it was a strange bet, a battery company trying to build cars. By 2021, that stake was worth over $8 billion. Buffett wasn't lucky. He saw a company that didn't just make cars. It made almost everything that goes inside them. And that single fact explains nearly everything BYD has done since. The advantage nobody else can copy in under a decade. When Ford needs a chip for a new truck, they call a factory in Taiwan and wait, sometimes 6 months or more. During the pandemic, that wait shut down entire assembly lines. Billions lost, not from a shortage of steel or glass, but because of a chip the size of a fingernail built on the other side of the planet. When BYD needed chips in that same period, they called their own chip division. Problem solved in hours, not months. BYD makes its own batteries, motors, chips, steel, glass, even the foam inside the seats. From raw material to finished car, almost everything comes from inside their own operation. That's called vertical integration, and building it properly takes at least a decade. Once you have it, competitors need another decade just to start catching up. Most American automakers are still at the very beginning of that process. Every dollar you don't spend on a middleman is a dollar you can cut from the sticker price. And when you're selling a car for $10,000, every one of those dollars matters. Look at what that gap actually costs a legacy automaker trying to catch up. GM has spent $35 billion on EV development through 2025 and still can't match BYD's cost structure. Ford lost $5 billion in a single year from its EV division alone. Expertise like this compounds over decades. It also erodes over decades of neglect, and rebuilding it from scratch is genuinely harder than building it the first time. BYD never had to pivot into this. Batteries have been their entire world since 1995. The EV era isn't something they scrambled to adapt to. It's the environment they were built for from day one. But the single biggest weapon to come out of that setup wasn't a chip or a motor, it was a battery. The battery that changed the safety conversation overnight. Regular EV batteries pack small cells into modules, then stack those modules into a bigger pack. Small boxes, inside medium boxes, inside a big box. Lots of layers, lots of wasted space. BYD's Blade battery, developed in secret and launched in 2020, threw that entire structure out. The cells slide directly into the pack side by side like blades in a drawer. No middle layer at all. That single change made the battery 50% more space efficient and cut out an entire category of components that could fail. Then came the nail penetration test. Take a fully charged pack, drive a steel nail straight through it, simulating a serious puncture. Most batteries smoke, swell, or catch fire almost immediately. Some of Tesla's earlier battery formats failed this exact test. BYD's Blade battery didn't. Temperature barely moved, no fire, no smoke. It passed clean, and BYD made sure the entire industry heard about it. That battery now sits in every BYD vehicle, from the cheapest model on the lot to the luxury performance brands, and it was never licensed out to anyone else. So by early 2025, BYD had the batteries, the chips, and the manufacturing cost advantage all lined up, which is exactly when they made the announcement that actually shook the industry, the announcement that put competitors on notice. In February of 2025, BYD's chairman stood on stage in Shenzhen and said something the rest of the industry didn't see coming. Every single model, down to the cheapest one on the lot, would now come standard with an advanced driver assistance system called God's Eye at no extra cost. Previously, that system had only been available on cars priced above $30,000. Now it was standard equipment on a hatchback called the Seagull, priced around $9,550. The system comes in 3 tiers, built for different price points, backed by a company employing over 110,000 engineers, with 5,000 of them working specifically on autonomous driving. In 2024 alone, BYD's vehicles were generating over 70 million kilometers of real driving data every single day, feeding straight back into improving the system. BYD shares jumped on the news. Rivals like Xpeng and Geely watched their own stock prices drop the same day. Tesla, which charges up to $8,000 for a comparable full self-driving package in some markets, suddenly had a very different conversation to have with its own customers. And BYD wasn't done for the year. The charging system that makes range anxiety irrelevant. In March of 2025, BYD unveiled something called the Super E platform, built around a new flash charging battery capable of pulling in a full megawatt of power. That's 1,000 kilowatts. More than triple what a typical fast charger delivers today. The headline number, 400 kilometers of range, roughly 250 miles, added in 5 minutes, close to the time it takes to fill a gas tank. The first cars carrying it, the Han L and Tang L sedans, plug in and add range at a rate of about 2 kilometers every single second. BYD has committed to building out thousands of these charging stations across China. Stack all 3 of these announcements together, the batteries, the free self-driving, the 5-minute charging, and you start to see why competitors that have been building cars for 100 years are the ones on edge right now. It's also worth knowing what BYD does when it stops worrying about price entirely. Their performance brand Yangwang builds a supercar called the U9 that produces close to identical horsepower across 4 separate motors, one per wheel, with control precise enough that the car can lift all 4 wheels off the ground simultaneously, on command, on stage, in front of cameras. Their U8 luxury SUV can rotate a full 360 degrees in place, drive on 3 wheels with 1 axle disabled, and float on water for short distances. None of this is a render or a promise for some future model year. It's already on video, already demonstrated. That kind of engineering ambition doesn't come from a company trying to meet a compliance checklist. It comes from a company that controls its entire technology stack and is genuinely exploring what becomes possible once every one of those advantages points at a single product. What this actually costs everyone else. Tesla cut its prices multiple times between 2023 and 2025, not out of generosity, out of pressure. The Model 3 that cost $46,000 in 2022 runs closer to $39,000 today, over $7,000 back in a buyer's pocket. Ford cut the Mustang Mach-E price by $8,000 in 2023. GM launched the Equinox EV at $35,000 specifically to hit a price point Chinese competition was making impossible to ignore. None of those companies are selling directly against BYD in most of these markets. They're reacting to the fact that BYD proved the underlying economics actually work at a much lower price point than anyone had budgeted for. The $25,000 mass-market EV that felt like a distant hope back in 2022 is a realistic near-term reality now, largely because BYD demonstrated the math works and forced every competitor to either close the gap or concede the market. For truck and SUV buyers, which make up the majority of American car purchases, the direct pressure is lower today. BYD's current lineup leans towards sedans and compact crossovers, and the cultural weight a pickup truck carries in America isn't something they're challenging head-on yet. But that runway isn't infinite either. It's just longer than it is for everything else. Now, before this goes any further, here's the honest complication: what the headline numbers leave out. BYD's own 5-minute 400-kilometer charging claim is measured using China's CLTC testing standard, which tends to run optimistic. Using the US EPA's more conservative method, independent estimates put the real number closer to 270 kilometers. Still remarkable, but noticeably short of the marketing headline. Reuters reported that as of last year, no charging hardware actually deployed outside China could handle the full power these vehicles are rated for, meaning the 5-minute claim mostly holds true inside BYD's own charging network, and not yet on the wider roads of Europe or the US. BYD is also still almost entirely absent from the American market. 100% tariff wall on Chinese-made EVs keeps it that way for now, and it's giving legacy automakers time they wouldn't otherwise have. That time is real, and whether companies like Ford and GM use it to genuinely close the gap or just to delay the hard decisions is still an open question nobody can answer yet. So the honest version of this story isn't BYD already won. It's that BYD proved a set of technologies most competitors assumed were years away from being affordable. And every automaker on Earth now has to respond to that, tariff wall or not. The tariff wall is real, and it's genuinely buying American and European automakers time. That time has real value. The question that will define the next decade of this industry is what companies actually do with it. Whether they use the window to close the technology and cost gap for real, or whether they spend it hoping the wall holds forever. Trade policy shifts. Factories get built on different sides of borders than they used to be. The companies that use this time to actually build something better will still be competitive in 2035. The ones that just wait it out risk becoming this decade's version of an industry that led the world for years, got comfortable behind a protective wall, and then found itself with nowhere left to go. Wang Chuanfu said in 2024 that BYD's goal isn't to be the biggest car company in China. It's to be the biggest car company in the world. A few years ago, that sounded like ambition. Right now, it sounds closer to a schedule they're already ahead of. And here's the part of this story that actually ends well for almost everyone reading it. More competition at the technology frontier means faster progress industry-wide. 5-minute charging pressures every charging network on Earth to catch up. Free driver assistance on a $10,000 car forces every other brand to justify why they still charge thousands for the same feature. Even if BYD never sells a single car in your country, it's already resetting what every car buyer on the planet expects to get for their money. So here's what's actually worth asking in the comments. If BYD started selling a fully loaded electric car in the US for $15,000 tomorrow, would you buy one? Or does the badge on the hood still matter more than what's actually sitting underneath it? If this was worth your time, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.